I've got a new dating term that's causing controversy, not just online, but among actual relationship experts. There's no agreement on whether this is a good, proper, or bad, detrimental thing to do.
I'll tell you.
All right. You're the real relationship expert here. The term is benching.
Boom. Sit on the bench. Sit it down.
Set someone on the sidelines for a while. The idea is a move where you make people, where you have like a bench of people that could be potential dating partners, but you don't have them actually. You don't settle down and choose one that's actually your committed partner. You kind of have a few different options. We've called this, I think we've discussed this on the show in the past. I think we had our own term for it. I called it Rushmoring.
Rushmoring?
Yeah.
What is this?
Rushmore, you have like, because Mount Rushmore, you have like 4 people, 4 heads carved into stone. I'll definitely choose one of these heads, but can I narrow it down to just one?
Oh, this is called keeping a roster.
Some call it keeping a roster. Now here's where the controversy comes in. Some dating experts, for example, Rachel D'Alto, it says it's like you like them, you just don't like them enough to prioritize them, and that is very it's insensitive to the person being benched because they'll likely start to feel like they aren't important to you. They're not important enough for you to put them number one, to prioritize them. Eventually, that might not happen necessarily at first, but sooner or later, they're going to get uncomfortable with that. So that's insensitive to them, right?
Yeah.
But the opposing argument, one made by dating coach Grace Lee, she says, if you can build a bench, dating more than one person at one time is actually, that's what dating is all about.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't lie or lead somebody on, but until things come to a head where one of those people on your bench demands either your full commitment or they're out, what's the big deal? So where do you stand?
I lean more with Grace.
You're on the Grace side.
I think so.
The side of Grace.
I am on the side of Grace, which is, but it has to be done the right way. You know, I think as long as you're just open about it. If you're casually dating, then you don't have to just go on dates with one person. If you tell them that up front.
Yeah.
I've been on dates with girls, and we've literally talked about their dates that happened 2 days prior. If they have a date coming later that week, whatever it is, like we've talked about that openly, and so I don't think it matters. I think it's perfectly fine.
Do you think that there's a cutoff where somebody just can't, where you've gone far enough and somebody just can't be on your bench anymore? You either have to. Is that like a certain date number? I
think it just depends on how much time you spent together, how many times you've hung out, and also like what your guys' like, both of your intentions are. Where you have to decide whether we're either going to end things because we're getting too serious and someone's feelings are going to get hurt, or it's just going to be me and you. And I'm going to clear out my bench. I'm going to clear out the roster.
Yeah.
It's just me and you then. So then you together would decide that. But sometimes people are cool with just continuing along.
Sometimes benching to me, it feels risky because it feels like you're almost getting the potential feelings hurt of being in an actual relationship without ever being in an actual relationship. It's just a very casual thing. So it is risky business if you're going to be on somebody's bench. I feel like they should do you have to disclose that early on?
Saying that like I'm talking to multiple people?
Yeah.
I think
Is that like a second date thing of like, hey, I know we've seen each other, things are going well, but at the same time, you're not the only person.
I don't think it's a second date thing. I think that's like a fourth date thing.
Fourth date.
Yeah. I think on the second date, you're figuring out if you even like them or not. Like if you got a second date going, maybe by the end of the second date, if you're feeling like really good about it, then you can ask them like, okay, so what? Like just figuring out what their intentions are. I think is the only thing that really matters.
I think it's so. This is so difficult to map out because every single person is going to be different when it comes to this.
Yeah, some people are going to just want to date one person, whatever it is, and then just like see if it works out with them, and then go on to the next one. Some people will go on dates with like multiple people at a time and figure out who they like. It just kind of depends. As long as you're honest, it doesn't matter. Time. Yeah.
Not on the same date, though.
Not usually.
Wasn't that a great Riot clip? While you're here, you should watch more of our videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.